guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my second video. Excited to be sharing it with you guys. So what I have is basically what are the differences between the Challenger Scatpack manual transmission and the automatic transmission, right? So if you're wondering if this is going to affect your decision at all, I just kind of want to give you some of the facts that where they're different, and then at the end of the video I'll also give you my own opinion on which one do I like better. So some of the key differences are going to be right off the bat, your key fob. Your key fob's going to look a little bit different. In the space where you could remote start your car on an automatic car, you will not be able to do that in a manual transmission. It kind of makes sense because if your car, well, you need to push your clutch down to start your transmission, even if you're in neutral. So that means that you wouldn't be able to remote start it because nobody's in the car with their foot on the clutch, right? So honestly, not a deal breaker for me, but I kind of do wish I could remote start it when I'm walking up because this car sounds amazing and I'd like to do that or hear that from the outside rather. So another difference is when you're in the performance pages, you can't adjust as many things in the manual as you can in the automatic. I have a friend that has a Scatpack Charger, right? And they only come in automatic. So he was kind of showing me some of the stuff with his. He has the active exhaust, so you can quiet down the car a little bit in certain modes. So like track mode would quiet down the car, or I mean make the car louder compared to like street mode. For me, it's the same exhaust all the time, which is fine. You know, I'd rather have it sound how it's supposed to sound all the time. I don't really need it to be quiet for any reason, and the exhaust isn't too loud stock, so it's perfect for me. The one thing that is different, you can't change the transmission from street to track to any of that because you only have one transmission style, and that's manual, right? I'm completely cool with that. That's fine. So another difference between the automatics and the manuals is going to be cylinder deactivation. So in a certain mode, in eco mode, basically, when you're on a highway, it will deactivate 4 of your cylinders to get you a little bit better gas mileage. In the stick shift, you don't get that, so you're going to lose some gas mileage, and as well as this is a 6-speed, the automatic's the 8-speed, so the gearing's a little bit differently, and that's going to save you gas mileage as well. You're probably going to be out of the RPMs for the most part, unless you're really getting on it, then you will get worse gas mileage. And I feel like you have a tendency when you have a stick shift to rev it out just a little bit more because you're in the position to do so. Those are 3 main differences, I'd say, from a car to car. Now I'm going to kind of give you my opinion on it. If you're buying a sports car like this, a muscle car, and you have the option to get a stick shift, I feel like you definitely should. And I do understand that me looking around when I was going to buy this car, that the stick shifts are a little bit more rare. You know, that there's a lot more automatics out there. You might not even want to get the 2-door Challenger. The 2-door Challenger is the only one that offers the stick shift. You know, you might want a Charger, which is completely fine. I kind of weighed that out. I know if I would have gotten an automatic, I would have got the Charger, but I ended up finding exactly what I wanted, and that's why I pulled the trigger on it. So when you get something like a Challenger that's a true muscle car, I think it's just only right to get the stick shift if you can. It just kind of completes the whole experience. It's like not just having half of something great, you know, and that's nothing against the automatic. I think another viewpoint would be if you were to go the automatic route, it might be because you're racing it. You know, a lot of people drag race these things. They're freaking muscle cars. They go fast in a straight line. So if you're definitely into racing and doing that kind of stuff, the automatic is going to win every time. For me personally, I'm not going to race this. I'm gonna just street drive it. This just hits the mark. This is the perfect balance for me. So the manual's just the icing on the cake, in my opinion. And I think it really comes down to what do you like more. So this is my opinion, right? This is no hate against anybody that would prefer the automatic transmission. But for me personally, I've had nothing but automatic cars, so I felt like this was just kind of a fantasy of mine. Like I always wanted a manual transmission muscle car, and and this was just kind of right place, right time. I found exactly what I wanted, and I got it. So as far as being able to drive it, it's been kind of a learning process. I mentioned in my last video that the stop and go traffic is a pain in the ass. I've stalled it a few times at lights. That's kind of embarrassing, but you'll get over it. You can't just let the clutch out in first gear slowly. You have to actually give it gas or else it will stall. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind. You'll get used to it. I've had it for about 3 weeks now, so I've driven it like just a normal car. But you're definitely going to have to get used to it because every car is different. Every manual car is different. Every clutch feels different. The way the gear shifter operates feels different. But as far as my opinion on this manual transmission is, it does take a little bit of learning, but I love kind of the feel of it, and the combination with the power plant that is provided in this car, and just really the combination of everything together is what really makes it a special car. And so my opinion, I'd recommend getting the manual unless you're racing it, because I believe the gas mileage isn't really going to be much different because you are in a gas guzzler regardless. So yep, that's the key differences is going to be the key fob, the cylinder deactivation, and not as many options on the performance pages, which those 3 things be nice to have, but it's not a deal breaker for me. So thank you guys, I appreciate you, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.